one thing at a time. All right.
Ringing bell in progress.
Rotary model. Service above
self.
self.
All right, now please stand. Put your hand over your heart and slowly repeat the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
Under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, justice
for all. Who remembers what year and who put under God in the pledge?
I believe it was Eisenhower in the 1950s.
Which year, Chuck? Not about.
I'll say 1957.
Yeah, you're pretty close.
How about 1954, Bill?
Yeah, there you go. Bill gets the prize. Okay, now we will have a moment's silence. Well, thank you, everyone. Welcome to Rotary. It's a great day, a little humid in our neighborhood, Murphy, but I know it never gets humid in San Diego. So we'll just eat your heart out there. Today, we are having a bio, and Joan Natale has agreed to present her bio when we get through some announcements and general discussion. So Joan, thank you for that. That was a last minute request, but leave it to Joan. She stepped right up. She remembers when she was born and what she did along the way. So she will be sharing that with us. So not to sweat these things, Chuck, as you are about to take on the presidency, stuff happens and we never worry about it because it always fixes itself. I've got some bad news to announce. Tammy Hopkins is resigning.
Oh my.
And the reason she's resigning is her daughter has had some very serious surgery that didn't quite turn out right. And she feels a real obligation right now to tend to her daughter who lives in Virginia Beach. And I think, right now she is just, all she can imagine is, having to take care of her daughter. So we wish her the best. The doors remains open for her returning to Rotary after her daughter's back on a good path. So let's keep Tammy and her family in our thoughts and prayers as we go forward. Now, yeah, go ahead.
She did endorse the Rotary basket task to me, and I think that we've got it covered between Jackie and Mary and myself. We can handle the job.
Yeah, I kind of hope that would be the case, Medi, and we might look for another volunteer because Jackie is going to be leaving us for 2 months starting July. So we probably can use another set of hands on that one. So we'll work it out. And Medi, once again, you've stepped up and I appreciate it and thank you for that. Okay, Randy, are you prepared to give us a update on how the raffle's going?
I suppose, yeah, not really much different than last week. We still have a small handful of members that we haven't heard back from yet in terms of their ticket sales. Hopefully we get that resolved this week. After the meeting today, I'm down here at Falls. We're going to go through all of the returned tickets and tally up, see where we stand. Unofficially, the number really hasn't changed from last week. It still looks, it's just a little bit below $11,000, assuming everything that we unwrap and count matches up what we put in based on the estimates. So I think we're in pretty good shape. We're set for the 4th of July. We will be selling tickets at Cape Charles beginning at 10 o'clock in the morning on July 4th down on Bay Avenue, along with the other vendors who are selling things, I suppose, as well as food trucks. Be there, I think, until around 4:30, which is when we hope we're going to have the drawing and announce the winner. So,
Where will we have the drawing? Which part of the downtown area? Where will we have the
it's
drawing?
going to be in the gazebo on Bay Avenue,
The avenue, yeah.
where the disc jockey will be operating. And according to the schedule, the music, the different people that are playing music move back and forth from the gazebo back to the love sign. And that's when they will be shifting at the 4:30 time. So it looks like a good time to do it. We'll have to see if circumstances dictate doing it at another time. You know, there's no trouble with being flexible on that. But right now, we hope it's going to be at 4:30. We need some folks to come down and help out. I'd appreciate anybody that can be there in that 10 o'clock to 4:30 time frame. Just drop me an email and let me know which hours you plan on being there. It'll be helpful. We should hopefully have maybe 3 people there at any given time. If we're as busy as we've been at some of the other venues, that'll be good. So.
Can you post a sign up sheet so we could sign up for?
Bill, you have a sign up sheet that you've circulated for different things.
Yeah, I get that for you.
Can you put that out and I'll just keep track of it as the,
Okay, only if I make a note to do that.
okay.
Randy, again, job well done. And this is really, this is one of the silver linings in the COVID cloud. If we were doing crab cakes, we wouldn't be anywhere near this revenue level. So this helped us out a lot.
One other thing, Joan is continuing to publish and put our announcement in weekly. And I tried to talk her out of it, but she's adamant. She wants to keep going until the 4th of July. So we're going to go until the 4th of July. I hope to pick up on the Saturday before the 4th from both the pharmacy and Boy 56, the final tally of what they've been able to do. So far, they're both still selling tickets. So we don't want to stop that, but sooner or later we've got to stop. So that's where we are.
No, don't stop! Don't stop!
Don't stop! Don't stop!
I'm predicting $12,000. Gross net
Still selling tickets on July 4 during
all day long.
All day long, yeah.
Until
We've got another 1,000 tickets, Mitty. So, you know, hopefully we'll get rid of them all.
Okay.
Up until the last minute. And I learned today that there may be a golf cart for sale from a person who's leaving the area. I'm going to investigate that. Certainly it's a board decision, but we might be able to do this thing again. Nothing like greed, but it's for the Rotary. Okay, On the service projects, John Burtis isn't here, so we can't talk about the YMCA. Joan, are you still collecting cell phones?
I can. I've delivered 10 to the organization, and 2 of the donors also gave individual checks for $100 to the Eastern Shore Coalition Against Domestic Violence, and I handed those in also. I can do some more, not a problem.
Okay, well, just let us know. Bob Church, good to see you. Happy Father's Day. Any new news on fire hydrants?
No news.
Okay. We'll stay with that. Chuck, anything about cemeteries?
No updates on that.
Okay. And then
I'd like to
I have on my list here. Go ahead, Mehdi. I'm sorry.
I'd like to have an update on the Invisible History Project. We're going to have a meeting of the site committee scheduled after the Rotary meeting next week, which is the 5th. So can we use the Zoom meeting after that, Bill?
Absolutely. So, and those of us who are on board, let's note that on our calendars. So July 6th.
No, that's June 29th,
Oh, June 29th. Okay.
the 5th Tuesday of the month.
Okay, June 29th, post meeting, Invisible History Committee.
And I will be sending out the minutes and the agenda just sometime early next week
Very
before
good.
the meeting.
All right. Let's see, what else?
And I would like to remind everyone tomorrow at 10 o'clock, Diane will be having the meeting of the interview questions committee at 10 o'clock via Zoom.
Yeah,
Right.
I've scheduled that and got the word out on that.
All right.
Yes,
Well,
thank you,
Mark,
Bill.
the meeting is complete now with Dr. Clark here. That's about it. I have on my list here, charging station. Yeah, go ahead, Chuck.
The caboose rehab.
Oh, yeah.
Larry Lamont had an accident. He was trimming his trees and fell off a ladder, so he got injured. Nothing broke, but he's got some bruises and hurting a little bit. So I'm not sure when he's going to recover. I did contact him and told him that when he goes to pick up the materials, because we were given the go ahead to order all the materials, I could either go get them, or if he's able, I will certainly help him get them, and we'll get the materials down to the Cape Charles Museum. If he's not able to shimmy up the ladder or work on the roof, I'll do it myself. So.
Yeah, hey, look, this is a reminder, guys. If you're over 65, stay off ladders.
I'll tell you a funny story. When I used to skydive and I teach classes, somebody would bring up, "Are you scared of heights?" And I said, "No, not really. I climbed up at 30. I said, I was on a 30-foot ladder one time. Weren't you scared?" I said, "No, I was on the bottom rung at the time."
There's another one, Chuck. that is a thigh slapper.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Mark Clark can hardly contain himself. That's pretty good, Chuck. I have to recover from that. But that is, and again, Chuck, that includes you. I think you're over 65, right?
Yeah, last time I checked.
Okay, so make sure you get John Calder to go up there with you And you guys be careful.
Okay, well, I give him my contact information and we'll sort that out.
Okay.
An announcement.
Yeah, Paul.
As I do twice a year, we'll be getting my list of individual contributions that people have made when they've paid their dues, and send them. It has to be sent before the end of June to the Rotary Foundation, and which means that anybody that still hasn't paid their dues and Rotary Foundation assessment for one of this quarter or our previous quarter needs to get it to me within the next day or two. That is, so if you're going to mail it still, send me an email telling me to expect it, so I won't leave you off the list.
Okay, any question about Paul's announcement? Oh, yes, Reggie.
Actually, it's not a question. I have an announcement I would like to make. Is this an appropriate time?
Yes.
Okay. I have a friend, my wife and I actually have a friend who is married to an individual who is from Ghana, who lives in Ghana, and their village is in bad need of a water. They call it borehole. We call it well, right? And they're attempting to raise funds to actually get this project done. It's about $3,000. And I wanted to just bring this up because I'd like to speak with Regina and see if perhaps this can become an international project for us to work with them on.
Okay, fine.
That is great. Do you know if there's a Rotary Club in the area there?
I don't know yet. No, I don't know the answer to that question. That's something that we can certainly check, but.
Oh, yeah, that's something we can work on.
Hey,
Okay.
Reggie and Bill, we had Tammy Hopkins scheduled for next week to give us her bio. And since she's resigning, Reggie, do you think this person would be able to join our Zoom meeting next week and speak to us about that?
I will check with her and see. She's a first responder. She's been working throughout the COVID for the last 15 months in nursing homes and senior citizen places. So I'll check on her availability. Absolutely.
Okay, well, if she's available, it would be next Tuesday at noon on the 29th.
Okay, Chuck. Thanks a lot, man.
Reggie, the name of the village?
I had to. It's tough to pronounce. I'll send it to you.
Oh, come on, Reggie, give it a try. Break your jaw.
Why don't you chat it to us?
Oh, yes.
It's got every letter of the alphabet in it.
There's no X.
I don't know. It's great being around brilliant people,
Hey, look, if you can't have a little midday fun, what's life all about?
And I have an announcement.
Joan, yeah, I'm calling on you to make your announcement. We saved the best for last.
Okay, thank you. I think the Friends of the Cape Charles Memorial Library are having a themed book sale on Friday, July 2nd from noon to 6 o'clock in front of the library at 201 Mason Avenue. The theme of the books that we will be selling is cookbooks. And the library is right next to the Brown Dog, so we're hoping we'll get a lot of people in line who will be browsing. And anyone who can join us, we'd appreciate it. Any support you can give us, it all benefits the Cape Charles Library through the Friends. We're a 501c3. That's it. Thank you.
Boy, that was short and sweet. There's a question from Bill Murphy.
Yeah, Bill, not really a question for what Joan said, but earlier Diane asked me a question or said something and I didn't have my earphone in yet. So I don't know if I heard her, if I even answered her. Diane, do you remember what it was you asked me?
On this call, you mean?
Yeah, right when I first came on, I didn't have my Bluetooth thing in, so I
Oh,
didn't really hear
no,
it.
I didn't ask a question. I was probably commenting on the background, the scenery
Oh,
where you're outdoors.
all right. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to be
Actually, what
sure.
I said was that you were showing off the scenery in the background.
It's just there. Thank you.
Yeah, I love San Diego, so I kind of wish I was there with you.
Yeah, don't we all? Now, I'm going to try something. I think we have the time. Last night, or for a few days now, we recognized that we didn't have a speaker for today. So Chuck was all upset. He was wringing his hands. And I said, Chuck, not to worry. We will figure it out. And as it turns out, Joan volunteered to do her bio. But while I was working on something to share that's for the good of Rotary, I came across a video, which is a virtual tour of their international headquarters that I'd like to share with you. And I hope I'm able to do it after all that. About 10 years ago, because I'm from Chicago, I went up to Evanston and went on a tour of the international headquarters and took pictures and came back. And was anybody in that meeting where I showed? Nobody was there. Paul was there, and I know Bill was there. Bill, what's his face? Stanley, you were there? I don't think you were there. You were. Not Bill Murphy, Bill Stram. Okay, now.
You told me about it a lot. I don't know. If I wasn't there, I know you told me about it.
Oh, I told you about it. Okay. All right. I'm going to share my screen. Keep me honest on this one. Okay. Now, am I sharing my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see? Okay. Oh, I didn't turn that sound thing on. Where's the sound thing? I'm gonna stop.
Yes, you're gonna probably have to stop.
Stop it and start it again. Okay.
Yeah, the sound check box is in the lower left-hand corner of the screen.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Right.
Thank you for your patience, everyone. Do you see it again?
It's coming. There it is.
Okay, I'm gonna start it.
Hello, my name is John Huco, the General Secretary of Rotary International and the Rotary Foundation. I'd like to welcome you to beautiful Evanston, Illinois, the home of Rotary International headquarters. Over the past few months, we've taken every precaution to help prevent the spread of COVID-19 within our community. Unfortunately, this means we haven't been able to welcome visitors into One Rotary Center. But now, for the first time, we're excited to offer a virtual tour. I hope you'll enjoy this video, including a sneak peek of our new exhibit space on the 18th floor. Rotary International headquarters has been at One Rotary Center in Evanston since 1987. Rotary owns the 18-story building and currently occupies about 40% of the space. Today, we'll visit the 1st, 17th, and 18th floors. Come on in. We're starting in room 711, a recreation of the site of the first Rotary Club meeting. Rotary founder Paul Harris moved to Chicago to pursue his law career in 1896. After a few years, he wanted a way to create meaningful connections among businessmen. In In 1905, he and 3 other men held what became known as the first Rotary Club meeting in the downtown Chicago office of Gus Lord. Local Rotarians recreated the office in the 1980s and formed the Paul Harris Room 711 Club to preserve and share Rotary history. The office was later rebuilt at One Rotary Center. The fiberglass statue of Paul Harris was created by Rotarian Kimihiko Morioka of Tokyo, Japan. Morioka traveled to Evanston to assemble the statue at One Rotary Center in 1993, and Paul has been here smiling and shaking hands with Rotarians ever since. And nearby are images representing Harris's vision for Rotary and members putting it into action today. Welcome to the 17th floor and the Arch Clone Society Gallery. At the 1917 convention, Rotary President Arch Klump defined several areas he considered essential for Rotary's future growth and success. His suggestion led to a Rotary Endowment Fund, which became the Rotary Foundation. It seems eminently proper that we should accept endowments for the purpose of doing good in the world, in charitable, educational, or other avenues of community progress. Now, we use his name to recognize donors who have contributed $250,000 or more to the Rotary Foundation. And today, there are more than 1,100 members of the Arch Clone Society, many of whom have portraits displayed here in the gallery. The 18th floor houses the offices of senior leaders, the boardroom, and interactive exhibits highlighting Rotary's impact around the world. More than 200 flags at the entryway reflect Rotary's global presence. Rotary International directors, foundation trustees, and various committees meet here in the boardroom. And being an international organization, we facilitate effective communication by providing simultaneous interpretation for booths that overlook the boardroom. Next to the boardroom is the office of the Rotary International President, who is elected to serve a 1-year term. The president spends approximately 25% of their term in Evanston, where visitors will find them hard at work, silhouetted against the Chicago sky. The rest of the year is spent traveling around the world as an ambassador for Rotary. Our final spot is a newly renovated exhibit space that introduces Rotary leaders, shares stories of impact, and highlights Rotary stakeholders. Together, we see a world where people unite to take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. A wall of movable panels offers visitors a chance to explore milestones and stories of impact, such as the creation of Rotaract in 1968 and the Peace Centers in 1999. You can also find inspiration in Rotary's action plan, increasing our impact, expanding our reach, enhancing participant engagement, and increasing our ability to adapt. We hope you've enjoyed this virtual tour. On behalf of the entire Rotary staff, we've missed having you here, and we can't wait to see you here again soon. Visit rotary.org/tours for updates. Until then, stay safe and stay well.
I thought you might enjoy that. I'm glad I kind of came across it. I really encourage you, if you ever get to Chicago and you can spend an extra half day getting there and back, that you go up to Evanston and visit the headquarters. So, Diane.
Are you ready for Happy Dollars?
Yes. Do I have to do something?
No, I was just making sure.
Oh, yeah. There you go, Diane. You're reading my mind. What time is it, folks? It's Happy Dollars. So who's happy today after Father's Day weekend? Nobody's happy?
I'll start off.
Medi, are you happy, Medi?
Well, I'm happy because my family reunion is over and everybody has gone home, and it was wonderful for the whole week, but it was exhausting, and I'm ready, and now I can relax and catch up on my emails and my meetings and everything. So I have give $5 for that.
That's great, Meddy. Is Nancy still in town?
Well, Nancy has returned to Richmond and she'll be there from now on.
Okay, we're going to just have to go up there and see Nancy. Paul, I see you're really anxious to be happy.
Yes, similarly to Mitty, I had family here last week. My son came up from Florida with his serious girlfriend and her daughter and his son. So we had a house full, and it was great fun having him here. But Ginger and I are both exhausted, and I was about 300 emails behind, and gradually working my way through them.
Well,
$5 worth.
good for you, Paul. Glad you had time with your family. Bill Murphy.
Yeah, Bill, I've got $5 happy this morning for two different reasons. First of all, one of my earliest childhood friends is celebrating his 70th birthday today, so I guess we're no longer children. And the other thing, after 65 years of confirmed bachelorhood, my brother is celebrating his second anniversary today also. So both of those things I'm pretty happy about. Marks the passage of time and reminds me once again how old I'm getting. So I'm happy about that.
Well, thank you, Bill. Are there any other happy folks here? Yes, David Kabler. David?
Hey everybody, I hope you all had a great weekend like I did. I'm thrilled to, I was born on Father's Day in 1950. It happened to fall on that day. So, I guess that precluded the fact that I've got 5 children and 10 grandchildren now. Oh my golly. So $5 happy for a wonderful weekend where part of my clan came to visit me. And what is really wonderful is when your children like to do the activities you want to do, I want to do. So it was just great. We paddled out on the creek and went swimming in the bay and had a wonderful beach picnic. Can you all hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you great.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much for letting me share that. Just thrilled to have a wonderful birthday, Father's Day weekend. Thank you.
Are there any others? Well, I'll conclude happy dollars. And not only am I happy about this, but Paul and Bill Murphy should also be happy in that I talked to Gary Williams, who is the Cape Charles engraver, and Gary has fixed the Student of the Year plaque that we screwed up, and we'll just leave it at that. We screwed it up, but Paul, Bill, it's ready. I'm gonna pick it up this afternoon and get it to the student Jeanette Pike, right? Bill, was it Pike? So going forward, we'll never have to do that again. All right. Well, thank you so much. Oh, I'm happy to the tune of $5 for that. So
do we have a ceremony when we give the plaque to the student?
we had it. Paul and I went 2 weeks ago. Was that it, Paul?
Yep.
And it was outside, and it was a great ceremony, and maybe we can get a picture of that because they did take pictures.
It was the Kip to Peak graduation.
That's right. Paul was outstanding. You should have seen him in his little gown.
Perhaps
all right. Yeah, go ahead, Meddy. You have a question?
Well, I was just thinking I'd like to be able to know the students that perhaps we could invite them over after the ceremony to attend our meeting and be honored by the members directly too.
Yeah, that, when we're back in business in person, we can certainly do that sort of thing. We've done it in the past. We've had the RILA participants come to our meetings, and we really do want to do that sort of thing. It's a little awkward with Zoom, but we'll be back in business come Labor Day. Now, Joan.
Bill, may I-
Jackie,
You know,
yes.
I just want to tell Mitty I sent her a direct message.
Oh,
Yeah, I got your message, Jackie, and I'm trying to answer it, but I just didn't have the time.
okay. All right. Joan, are you ready to tell us about yourself?
Sure, I'm ready as ever.
All right. Well, Joan, it's your show.
Great. I was born and raised in Fairfield, Connecticut. Went to college in Connecticut at a small all-girls Catholic college called Amherst. Graduated mathematics degree. And my first job out of college was my basically only job since I was employed full-time. I accepted a job with AT&T in White Plains, New York back then, working in their computer systems department. And I worked in White Plains and another town close by in Westchester County called Mount Kisco for probably 15 years. Then transferred to Atlanta, Georgia for about 2 years. Ran the tech support group supporting the data center, one of our data centers in Atlanta. After that, in 1980, I moved to New Jersey, which is my first time living in Jersey. And I stayed with AT&T, stayed in data systems my whole career, basically, and worked in a number of different locations in New Jersey, Basking Ridge, Somerville, Morristown, Bedminster, all famous AT&T locations, if you have any idea where AT&T is in New Jersey. And right around 1999, well, a few years before that, AT&T split, and we had an option. Employees had an option to either stay with AT&T or to go with Lucent Technologies. I said I didn't really care, put me where I was best needed. I ended up in Lucent Technologies, so I ended up retiring out of Lucent in 1999 after 33 years of service. I went back to work for Lucent as a consultant, managing one of their applications for about a year and a half. And then I finally retired. And I knew I didn't want to live in New Jersey once I was retired. So I, late 1999, early 2000, I drove from basically Virginia to northern Florida and back along the seaboard. And when I got to Virginia Beach, I decided that this was the area that I would like, but I didn't want to live in Virginia Beach. I had a friend of mine. Sorry, someone have a question? Okay, anyway, a friend of mine who was one of my first supervisors retired and moved full-time to Chincoteague. And a number of us had gone down on weekends in the summer to Chincoteague, and she was living there full-time. And she offered to go with me on my trip. So we did it together. And so she knew I was interested in the geographic area around Virginia Beach, Eastern Shore. And about a month, maybe 3 or 4 months later, she called and told me that there was a huge article in the Eastern Shore News about someone named Dickie Foster, who was building something called Bay Creek in Cape Charles. And she said, do you want me to save the article? And I said, yeah, I'd love to see the article. So I arranged to come visit her, read the article. The next day we drove down to Cape Charles and visited Bay Creek, which at the time was just a trailer on Old Cape Charles Road next to that old house that's there. And Chuck Little was the only employee who was on site. I met with him, he drove around, I found out what it was like. And this was in early 2000 May, June timeframe. The only village that was available to buy back then was in the Hollies. And the deal was, I thought it was interesting. The deal was sort of a no-brainer for me. You put down $5,000, you pick the model of the house you wanted. The contractor who built that house would buy the lot you wanted and build the house you wanted, and you signed a contract, and you didn't have to pay anything until you closed, unless you made changes, and any changes you had to pay for at that time. So it was sort of like for $5,000, if it all went bust, I wasn't losing a lot. So I picked a lot in the Hollies. I found a model that I really liked. I went to Virginia Beach a couple of weeks later with Chuck, and he drove us to a village that Dickie had where this model that I wanted was available to walk through. Walked through it, took 1,000 pictures, it seemed. Came home, made a list of all the features that I wanted in the house, got it to Chuck in August, went to contract, and in April 25th of 2001, I became the first full-time resident of Cape Charles and Bay Creek. And I was the second person to close. The first person who closed closed a week and a half before me, but they were part-timers. So I am basically the first full-time resident of Bay Creek. That'll, I guess, never change. But anyway, so as it turns out, I moved to Bay Creek in 2001. And since that time, while I was in Cape Charles and Bay Creek, I served on the town council as a councilwoman from 2010 to 2018. I served on the Cape Charles Planning Commission from 2003 to 2019. I was a charter member of the Cape Charles Broadband Committee beginning to end. And that was the committee that worked with Eastern Shore Broadband to bring broadband to the Eastern Shore. I was on the Cape Charles Harbor Review Board from the beginning until 2016. I was almost a founding member of the Citizens for Central Park. I joined them the year they were founded, which was 2001, but I didn't join the first meeting. I was later in that year. And over that time, I've been the chair, the vice chair, the secretary, and the treasurer positions. And I'm still active in Citizens for Central Park right now, and currently I'm their treasurer. I've been a member of the board of the Friends of Cape Charles Memorial Library from 2003, and I've served various board positions over that time frame. I was the founding member of the Cape Charles Business Association in May of 2003, not to be confused with the current Main Street, but we tried to create a Cape Charles Business Association in 2003. I think we floundered for about 4 or 5 years, and we just didn't have, as with all small towns, I guess, if you own a business, you're so busy trying to keep the business going that you don't have time to do a lot of other things, even if they could benefit you. So that really didn't last very long, but it became the foundation for the Cape Charles Business Association, which now is Main Street Cape Charles. So I'm not a member of Main Street, but I was certainly proactive and active in the very early years. And I guess the last two things that are important to me is I'm an active member of St. Charles Catholic Church from 2001 to the present. I've served continuously on the parish council. I've been a chair, president, vice president. I have been for a long time head of Helping Hands And we try to help people who have needs that we can satisfy quickly. Like if I get a phone call that someone needs food, I'll go to the store, buy them food, bring it to them, and then get reimbursed by Helping Hands funds out of the church coffers. And I also, for the last 5 or 6 years, have been coordinating purchase and delivery of food for Thanksgiving and for Christmas to families in the area. This past year, we delivered over 50 bags of food to different households. And the last thing is when I moved here, people said there's nothing to do in Cape Charles. This is a dead place. So somewhere around 2004, 2005, I started a little newsletter called the Cape Charles Happenings. And to this day, I am still publishing the Cape Charles Happenings, and I have over 2,000 subscribers right now. So that's my story.
Wow.
Any questions?
Yeah, I have one question, Joan. When do you sleep?
Now I'm Rotary. Now I'm Rotary.
Yeah, you left Rotary out. Joan, when do you sleep?
Around midnight.
I have to tell you, I'm wore out just listening to you.
You know, when you move to some place and you know absolutely no one, you either cocoon or you get out there and start meeting people.
Yeah.
You know, and there aren't a lot of ways to get out there and start meeting people except to join something.
That's true.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, and I've always been afraid of not having too much work to do, not having enough to keep me busy.
Mm-hmm.
So I've solved that problem all along.
And then some.
Joan, are you going to be making those margaritas at Central Park this summer during the concerts?
I am not.
No, you're not.
No,
Oh.
in fact, Citizens for Central Park is not going to be selling alcohol at the concerts this summer at all.
Well, speaking
However,
for myself, we're going to miss that.
Thank you.
Those $5 margaritas were wonderful.
We haven't given up. We have not decided whether or not we're going to do it next year. But this year we decided early on because we didn't know where COVID was going. And we actually were approached by a member of the Habitat for Humanity. And they wanted to know if they could take over our spot and sell at least margaritas, maybe more, I don't know. So at our last CCP meeting, we voted that we had no problem at all letting them take over this year, but they just needed to understand we're not sure about subsequent years yet. The only time we'll sell margaritas this year is at the Krabby Blues festivals because we had already committed to that. And that'll be September 18th, and we will sell margaritas there.
So, Joan, I really enjoyed your roundup there. I remember when you moved to Cape Charles, and you have you know what, you are a perfect example of why Cape Charles is such a great success nationally and internationally now.
Whoa.
You have contributed hugely to the fabric of this community, and in making it strong, in making it vibrant, and giving confidence to the many people that are coming to Cape Charles for vacations, to open businesses, to make investments. And I want to pat you on the back. I got to say, you've really done an amazing, you've been a huge part of our success. And I'm so proud of you, and it's so wonderful to have you in Rotary. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ditto. Joan, I would like to say also that I was wondering how you knew everybody and everything that was always going on in Cape Charles ever since I've known you. And I can see why now because of what you've done. And when you look back at your technical career, I'd love to get together with you sometime for lunch, just talk, because my background is in the same arena in the computer industry, technology, and all of that stuff, all the way back to the middle '60s, believe it or not, Joe. Before you were born, probably, but that's okay. I'd love to get together and chat with you and compare notes.
I started working in 65.
That's when I started working in electronics, right? And then it evolved into the computer industry later on. And yes,
There we go.
absolutely phenomenal.
That was my pathway as well.
That's why I enjoy, most of the projects I did get involved with have to do with somehow using a computer.
Mhm.
Doing flyers, doing posters, doing emails. Yeah, web pages, it doesn't matter. It's just fun.
For the last 9 or 10 years, I've tried to stay away from computers, Joe.
John, I just want to mention that my sister-in-law, who also lives here in Cape Charles in the Marina Village, has been working for AT&T for the last 35 years and is about to retire in 2 years.
Whoa, that's great.
Loretta?
So this would be Loretta.
Yes. So, and then they'll move down here after she retires, right?
Well, Banong my brother has retired, so they moved here full time now. And Loretta is working from home.
Oh, I didn't know they were here full time.
Yeah.
That's great news.
Mary, they are a half a block from me. We're a half a block from each other.
Yeah.
I chatted with your brother a couple of times.
All right. Yes, he mentioned that he met you, right?
Joan, I don't know how deep you got into the math part during your school years, but if you were working in the calculus areas, I could have used a little of your help with second order equations.
I think I forgot calculus after I graduated from college.
Yeah.
Working in data communications didn't help a lot.
No.
Thanks for bringing up bad memories, Chuck. Well, Tom Godwin, are you take yourself off of mute, Tom?
I just want to tell you, Joan, I enjoyed every moment working with you on the town council. It was a enjoyable time.
Yes.
And you've been quite an asset to the town.
Thank you, Tom.
Very much so. I want you to stay here as long as you can, as long as I'm gonna be here too. Have a great time.
Thank you.
That is great, Joan. Everybody loves you. We owe you a debt of gratitude for your service. You certainly set the example and encourage me when I feel like I can't take another step. When I realize Joan's up there running full speed. So I think that's, and Joan, and thank you. Like, this is typical Joan. We didn't have a speaker. So who's your go-to person? Joan Natali. Natali, what does she say? Yes, she didn't even hesitate. I said, Joan, will you do this? Joan said, yes. I don't think she has a no bone in her body. We love you for that, Joan, and thanks again.
And I just want to say Joan has been a great companion on our trips to Delaware.
Oh, you left the gambling thing out, Joan.
That's okay. I left a lot of things out.
That's important to know because I'd like to do that occasionally too.
Oh, you got another.
Oh, ready. Okay.
We can take road trips.
Okay, anything for the good of Rotary? Last chance, my friends. Then there you go. With respect to what we think, say, and do, slowly, 1 is
the truth.
2
Is
it
it
all
concerned?
concerned?
3 will it
Will it
build
build
better
better
friendships? 4, will it be
Will it be
beneficial?
Beneficial to all concerned.
And as Stanley always says,
Will we have fun?
fun.
see you next week, folks.
Bye.
Hey, Randy,
Jackie, see you in a few minutes.
Randy. Randy. Are you gonna
Randy's
be
gone.
home? No, Randy's still there. You gonna be home this afternoon?
No, I'm down here at Paul's. We're gonna do some tallying, but Dawn's there. If you have stuff to drop off, just drop it off.
Okay. All right.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, Jack, I'm gonna run a